Happy peeps, Suzanna here today, and I am sharing with you my paper issues haul of PinkFresh Studio. So when I was at Creativation, one of my absolute favorite collections was the PinkFresh. And as soon as Paper Issues released those collections, or actually two of those collections, I grabbed what I could or what I deemed necessary of those two collections. So I'm going to share what I got with you in this haul video today. So I got the Heart collection, and it's actually called Let Your Heart Decide, as well as bits and pieces of A Case of the Blahs. So I love them both, and I love them both for very different reasons, but I'm going to start with the Let Your Heart Decide collection, and I got 12 by 12 pattern papers, the 6 by 6 paper pad, stamps, and some embellishments. So I will go through all of that with you. So let's start with the stamps. So clear stamps, 24 pieces. And the reason I got this stamp pack and not the one that goes with A Case of the Blahs is because I thought that these were more multi-purpose. I love the leaves, and I love the way that you can use leaves to stamp them outside of flowers, things like that, and so it provided a lot of layers. I also liked the labels and the sort of more generic sayings that were on this, and thought that this was going to work perfectly. There's some flowers that you could layer up that go with this particular collection. There's also these books in here, and I have readers, so this was perfect for me, and I felt that for the price point I was better off getting one stamp set than I was with I had to choose one or the other, and so this was the one that I ended up going with. And you can see on the back how they've layered these stamps. So there's the circle first with the color, and then overlaying it with that. So some great ideas on those stamps as well. Then for embellishments, I went with these leather stickers. And again, a lot of the same similar stuff, but I just love the texture in the leather stickers and how that was going to allow me to add some more layers. So for example, this piece of pattern paper here, Let Your Heart Decide, this is called Escapade. You can see how if you were to layer stickers on there, that would really allow you to get lots more layers in what you're designing there. And the epoxy stickers, you can never have too many epoxy stickers in my mind, so those were going to work perfectly for the kinds of things I do. And I think when you're shopping, you need to decide what your style is and what it is that you are going to use. I got these stitched frames. These particular frames are just, they're pattern paper, really. They're sort of a heavier pattern paper. They're the heavyweight pattern paper, and they have stitching in them, and you can see all of the different designs there. I liked these particular frames and got these because they were bigger and tend to be more along the size pictures that I like to use, and I did like that the stitching that was in those. I also got the ephemera pack. There are 59 pieces in the ephemera pack, and there is just a ton to choose from. It's one of the great things about PinkFresh Studio is that really there's so much to choose from. If you don't have a girl and don't want to use flowers, there's a great camera in there. If you have a boy and you want to do more boy pages, there's lots of blue elements and you don't have to use the pinks. And I like that the colors are sort of neutral and can go both ways. And it's graphic. It's a little bit different. That pineapple, or I think of this as a pineapple, is not quite a pineapple, and so you could make it a flower in a pot. Lots of fun little things, and if you didn't get other things there, there's plenty to choose from in the ephemera pack. And then I also got these cardstock stickers, and you can see me tapping that down because there are 465 pieces of stickers in here. Great value for money in these collections. It's lovely to have the labels. The labels are great for layering, as well as the letter stickers and the word labels, because you can just layer up behind pictures and not need to cut into pattern paper. So that was a great value for money there. And you can see how there's gold foil on some of the stickers as well, some gold hearts. And then I also got these puffy stickers, 56 pieces. You cannot go wrong with that. How cool is that? So you could layer up flowers. So you could layer up that particular flower on a circle with another flower. And if you were brave and had the stamps, you could stamp up a few other flowers kind of trailing down. And then you could have some leaves that you stamped yourself. So those are the puffy stickers, 56 pieces there. Now I've forgotten what I did show you, epoxy stickers. And then last but not least, for the embellishments with this collection, Let Your Heart Decide, I did get the Puffy Alpha stickers, and I love that they come in all the colors that are in the collection. There's front and back, there's numbers, and what I love about these is that these numbers are realistic sizes. For me, thickers, I can't use thickers numbers because they're way too big. I don't need a hunkin' 2017 on my layout, so I like that these are of a good decent size there and lots to choose from. So I did not get all of the pattern papers. I don't think, can't swear by that, and I did get doubles of some of them because I like front and back, but so what I tried to do when I get pattern papers is I try and get things that make good backgrounds, and then if there are things that I think I want to use as headers and footers, because those of you who know me know I like headers and footers across my layout, I do like to try and get those so that they're 12 by 12 for if I do 12 by 12 pages. So I got 2 pieces of this Escapade, so you can see how it moves. It's a gradated green, and on the back of that is a gradated yellow or a yellowy orange. And I have this bright idea that I saw when I was, that I thought of when I was out at Creativation, that I actually want to stitch the reversed squares or rectangles in this to create a layout, and I'm not sure. I think I might. I really like that green side, so you can see both sides of that, the green and the yellow. Then the next piece that I got, and I got 2 of these, is this piece of paper is called Quirk. And so you can see those fun books with flowers on them. And on the back side of that is this lovely sort of salmon-y, and it looks like books stacked on a bookcase to me. Again, I have readers, so I thought that was perfect, and I knew I was going to be able to use both of those. I also got Caper, and I got 2 of these too. I love the hearts, and I think I want to stitch around these hearts is what I want to do with a few of them, probably in black to just pop them, maybe cut out a few and layer the hearts. I was thinking with the epoxy stickers, and on the back of that is this really cool circle with that, I'm not sure what that is, but it's kind of a cool sort of tribal design, and I thought circle pictures would be fun on that, or even to stitch into that might be fun. So that's the front and the back of the Caper paper from the Let Your Heart Decide collection. And then now we're moving into singles that I got of each of these. So this is called Spur, and lots of fun little words and sayings and pictures. So capture, hello, hello, flowers. And on the back of that is this really cool geometric graphic design, which to me speaks PinkFresh. It's very fresh. With the ampersand, kind of like the ampersand in the layout that I created with the ampersand in the corner and the title. So it might be fun to use the letters. I don't know that I would use those letters. I would probably use black or this salmon-y color, maybe cut it out of the back side of that would be fun, and do a big title, you and maybe me, a little me down there would be kind of fun, was my thought with that. This one is called Whim from Let Your Heart Decide. So it's got random grids in different colors and then different florals stamped on that. And it would be fun to put pictures on each of these grids. Might be a fun way of doing that. And then on the back are these funky scallops. I'm going to call them in yellow there. So that's what that looks like. And then this is Thought. Lots of different thoughts. You could cut them out. You could put pictures on there with embellishments off of them. You could leave them. So some cool thoughts. Conquer from within. I love that. Purpose fuels passion. So just sort of lots of insightful things. And then on the back of that is the stripes there. You could maybe cut out some of those stripes and put them on the back of this to go with this. Might be kind of fun, is that. So again, from Let Your Heart Decide, we're still talking about that same collection. This is Instinct, and I just love those florals. I love leaves. Leaves are cool. And then on the back, which is actually probably the real reason that I got this sort of gradation over to white with the stripes. And you could do flowers down the side of that, would be cool, and cut out some of those leaves. So that was a fun collection. Actually, I got this one. This is called Impulse to Work. Probably the border there was my idea with some florals. And on the back of Impulse, you can see these triangles. They look kind of like teepees. So gradated triangles in yellow, just a nice pale background. I think I'm gonna have a tough time having only one of these with that is a great background, but that also is a great border. So that, my friends, is the Let Your Heart Decide collection. And I did get the 6x6 paper pad that goes with that. And let's see if we can get into this sticker here. I always find these stickers leave a sticky mess on things. So these are probably all of the same papers that I have already shown you, just in a smaller 6x6 size, and they are not double-sided, which I like. What I struggle with the pattern papers is that the color hue is often very different, but this one's actually pretty good. So you can see how that green and that green are similar. That is very similar. I'm gonna say that these hearts aren't quite. Yeah, you can see how these are off just a little bit, but really not that much. You can see that red there is not as vibrant on the 6x6 pad, but still holding pretty true to the color palette. So there's 32 single-sided papers, and I love that they're single-sided because I find you get better value for money that way. And they're all the same papers that I have already shown you in the 12x12s there. So that's the Let Your Heart Decide collection from PinkFresh. And then we move on to a different collection from PinkFresh, also from Paper Issues. And this is A Case of the Blahs. So I didn't get as many embellishments for this because maybe we don't have as many blahs in this house as we have heart deciding and reading and ice cream and fun things like that. I'm not one to scrap the mess or the not cools. I do it, but I try and do it in a happier tone, maybe. So I got the epoxy clips. There are 8 of them. I love the colors. I love the cup on that. And I thought this would be a fun way of adding epoxy and layers to a layout, so you could clip pictures, photos to different paper layers was my idea on that. So that is the epoxy paper clips, 8 of them. And then I got the puffy stickers, and the reason I got the puffy stickers is because I like puffy stickers, and I find that the puffy stickers hold up better than the epoxy does over time. We'll have to see whether there's yellowing that occurs in those epoxy clips, but I really love this little house, and I needed to layer the little house, and I loved that as well, and Mischief in the Making. I have a son who I love dearly, but we are struggling at this 15-year-old age. And then I also got the ephemera pack. So like I said, with the ephemera pack for Let Your Heart Decide, there are 58 pieces in this, and really there's just so much to choose from. It's great because there are things like leaves and houses, but there are also labels and sayings, and so it's a nice mix of stuff. I struggle when you pick up an ephemera pack and all you get are leaves and a bunch of leaves or a bunch of sayings. I like to have the mix of goodies, and so that is a nice mix of goodies in different sizes. You've got some big things, some little things, and so that would be fun for titling and subtitles. I absolutely love these puffy alpha stickers. Very different from these, but also very useful in that brush script that is quite trendy and on trend these days. I really like the grid paper that's underneath these as well, and think you could probably use the packaging for scrapping as well. and the numbers are fun. They're a little more scripty as well. I also got the cardstock stickers, and again, for the same reason that I got the ephemera pack, there's a nice mix of labels and sayings and shapes and sizes and circles. So 251 of the cardstock stickers in this one. Let me actually open this one up and show you. I just love the sayings. So we've got that, and I have no idea what I'm doing. That is just perfect. Life begins after coffee because Mondays, emotionally unstable, and then some really great alphas that are there. Excuse me while I freak out is great for scrapping those not so great moments in your life or your Monday mornings before you've had coffee. So those are the cardstock stickers, and I got 12 by 12 pattern papers as well as the 6 by 6 paper pack. So we'll go through the 12 by 12s first in a case of the Blas. This is called Awkward, and I probably should have gotten 2 of these because I love these little, see how it's just like a little star, and that would be a great background with the strip down the bottom. And on the back side of that is that great blue. So really both sides great for backgrounds as well as that blue for layering. But I will probably do something with that. Then this next piece of paper is called Chaos. And I believe in this one there's a couple that I bought doubles of, but not as many. So you can see that whole collection laid out there. This is called Chaos. So it says, a case of the Blas. It would be so nice if something made sense for a change. Yes, no, maybe so. And then over here, breathe, just breathe. Everything happens for a reason. And that same black stripe or striped pattern down the bottom of Chaos. I love that green at the top there. And then on the flip side is this lovely floral. I got this really, I'm not into this. I like it and I could see using that, but this is me. This screams me. And I could see putting some mixed media on that and adding some green color to that would be fantastic. So that's that piece. I'll put that way, I think. And then this one is called Imperfect. I love this. Some days are tough. Applause for the flaws. There's just some great sayings with PinkFresh Studio. I absolutely love that. And then that graphic design there as well with the different triangles that make up squares. And again, I could see maybe hand stitching or coloring in some of these graphic patterns being really cool, and maybe making sort of like a mosaic with the pictures. You could even stitch lines to create squares or rectangles or boxes. I think that would be really fun. So that is Imperfect. And then this one I got 2 of. I really love these scallops. They're green on a white background, and they're asymmetrical. They're not perfect scallops, which I love. And then on the back side of that is this writing. It says, let go the idea of winning or losing. Be messy and complicated and afraid. I love that font, and I love that with that green. That just, that's me. Perfect. I'm not perfect. The paper is perfect. I did get 2 of these from a case of the Blas, and this is called Messy. I got 2 of these because I loved that. There's lots of backgrounds for me in this, and then I did really like these squares, and I thought I could see cutting these apart and doing different things with these. So blah, know your worth, then add tax. This is me, emotionally unstable. Well, at least it was interesting. So lots of fun sayings mixed in with different geometrics to that. So that is both of those pieces of paper from Messy. So front and back of Messy. What else do we have here? So I've got 3 other pieces. Why don't we put that one that way? From A Case of the Blas collection. This is a really cool gray blue with dots in through it. This makes me think of Tweety from Snoopy when he's talking and you see the little lines in the speech bubble. And this one's called Oops. And I love those houses with the flowers on the back. And those stamps that I got from Let Your Heart Decide, I could see stamping the flowers on top of these flowers would be kind of cool. Was kind of the idea with that. So that one's called Oops. And then I have two pieces of this from the Case of the Blahs. It's called Meh. And that is actually why I love both of these. They're busy, but they're great. This is a great background. This is great for fussy cutting, probably using as a header or a footer or a sidebar, as I like to do, and perfect for teenage life. My 11-year-old is starting to enter into her tween years, and my 15-year-old, he's definitely a teen, and this is perfect for everyday life to me. And that's kind of triangles, tic-tac-toe. This could be a good math background to me as well. And I love the colors. So that's Meh. And then last but not least, we have Blah. And that is also from A Case of the Blues. It's sort of a olivey, greeny, yellow color in different stripes. And then the back of that, this makes me happy. It's that same grid that you saw in Let Your Heart Decide, but it's in gray and black and similar florals to that same collection. And I can see mixing and matching both of these collections, especially the greens with this would look fantastic. So those are the 12 by 12 pattern papers from the A Case of the Blahs collection. I'll flip through those for you. And then I have the 12 by 12, 6 by 6 paper pad as well. Oh, that one's already open. And again, these are all of the same papers that I already have shown you, just in a smaller scale. So you can see how, I'll go with that geometric there because it's already out, but you can see how it's a tad smaller, which gives you some nice different options for when you're working with layering. It's easier to see the smaller pattern than it is the big pattern. And the florals, that grid, that yellow. And again, the 6 by 6 paper pad is very true to the colors that are in the 12 by 12. So that is a nice mix there. So that is my haul from Paper Issues with 2 of the new PinkFresh collections from this year's Creativation. If you have anything else that you want to see, be sure to leave a comment in the comments below. Thanks for stopping in. Take care.